They raised thousands of giant stone faces. Then their entire world simply vanished, leaving these silent sentinels behind. How does a civilization pour centuries into monuments only to disappear into silence? For centuries, these monuments grew ever larger, until, abruptly, the buildings stopped and the islanders disappeared from sight. What force could end an obsession that dominated every corner of their world nearly overnight? To carve and move each statue, the islanders had to clear more and more of their forested lands. The harder they worked, the more trees vanished. But what triggered this resource crunch, and why didn't they notice? Entire clans staked their honor and future on raising the tallest Moai, fueling an arms race of stone. With every challenge, competition only grew. When rivalry turned relentless, even survival took a backseat. Moai weren't just art, they were economic catalysts, controlling resource distribution and labor. Powerful Moai meant better deals and more food. But as each clan raised the stakes, who could afford to stop competing for advantage? The island's forests, once lush and protective, shrank with every passing year as the need for more Moai grew. As the roots disappeared, something dangerous crept in. Famine was only the first warning. Even as the island grew barren, the building frenzy only intensified. Why keep going on an empty stage? They poured their last strength into larger statues, even as hunger set in. What could have broken the cycle? With the forests gone, crops began to fail. The statues that once brought prosperity now watched over hungry fields. Starvation bit deeper, traditions broke down, and the land itself became a battleground for survival. Desperation replaced tradition. Toppling each other's Moai became the island's new, violent obsession. Old rivalries ignited in the dark, transforming status games into resource wars, with every fallen statue deepening the crisis. By the time outsiders arrived, Easter Island's glory was long lost. Only questions and ruins remained. Europeans found devastated people and a barren land, unable to piece together what had destroyed such an ambitious civilization. Textbooks blamed mindless destruction, but the real catastrophe hid in plain sight, an economic spiral, not ecological chaos alone. The easy story misses how pressures for prestige can twist resource use beyond reason. Locked in a contest for honor, no clan could afford to quit. They raced each other into oblivion, unable to stop. Disaster crept closer with every statue. By the time leaders saw the cost, escape was impossible. When prestige became more valuable than survival, the very stones meant to unite the island ended up tearing it apart. Moai became a currency of ruin in a closed world, an expensive symbol no one dared abandon. It's easy to spot the tragic outcomes centuries later. Societies often chase symbols that blind us. Would we notice if the same frantic race was happening all over again? The line between progress and ruin isn't always obvious. Easter Island's lesson? Sometimes it's not one bad act, but the rush to keep up that ruins everything. You now know something most history books leave out. Hit subscribe. The next chapter is already waiting.